Morning. So I've just met a couple of friends at the end of Wastwater, the car park at Wasdale. We've just gone for a walk. Decided I might chuck a couple of Wainwrights in. I've no idea where we're going to end up, but we're going to head up Scarfell Pike, which is a biggie. It's 30th of December, so very little daylight, and it's quite a poor day, so I'm winging it a bit. We'll see what happens. So we're following Lingmel Beck. We'll follow this. This is probably the main track up to Scarfell Pike, and then we'll make a judgment when we're at the top. Really bad forecast, so we'll play it by ear from there. So the stream's almost in spate. I've just managed to get across. Various people are trying and failing and turning back. My mates are over there attempting it now. A lot of water fell yesterday. So we're just scrambling up the scree slopes at Mickledore. Very steep. Views are non-existent. When we get to the top, we'll hang a left up to Scarfell Pike. We're just going to cut up through this gully, and we should get to a junction at the top where we hang a left. So this is the gully we've just scrambled up to the cairn at the top of the col at Broadstand. Now this is the col between Scarfell, which is up there, and Scarfell Pike, which is up there. So I think we're going to head up to Scarfell Pike once I've chatted to the lads, and then we'll play it by ear and see where else I want to go. So we've had quite a big boulder field really to cross. Just heading up to the summit now. I'd imagine there'll be a few people up here today, despite the weather. Little pockets of snow. At the 30th of December, it should be white over really. So here we are, Scarfell Pike, the roof of England. Well done, boys. Mark and Jeff with me. This has changed from last time I was up here. So we decided to drop off Scarfell Pike, looking at the conditions, and we're pretty much heading in a circular loop towards Lingmel, following the cairns down, and then we'll go over Lingmel and then we'll drop back down to the car, I think. Just a short day. So we've come off the main track now, just scrambling down this craggy side, heading towards Lingmel. Very wet, bit of a footpath following various cairns over to Lingmel. So it's a brisk little climb there up Lingmel. So we're at Lingmel here. Appalling day, as you can see. This is Mark. There's Jeff. You all know Stanley. One of those, this one, Lingmel. So this could be also the top. You're seeing the mist there, that's what I think is the top, but I've come to this second top here. Footpath goes this way anyway. Hard to really make out on the map which is the high point. And we're going to head down this way now, head back to Wastwater. Just taking a quick snap of the steep grassy banks coming off Lingmel, and we've had quite a steep screey section as well to come down, and it's just started to clear up across there. You can see the lower slopes of Scarfell on the other side of the valley. Short day today, but nice to get out. So almost back at the car park in the trees down there, and that's the first view of Wastwater we've had all day. Very, very dreary day. Hi. So today I walked route number, I'm going to call it 29A because it wasn't really a route. I winged today. It's Thursday the 30th of December, and I parked at the car park at the end of Wastwater at Wasdale, and it's £7 chargeable. The machine was broken, but you can pay at the shop near the campsite. I'm with two friends today, Mark and Jeff. I have to say, I'd initially planned on going up Lord's Rake onto Scafell and maybe cutting round up to Scafell Pike and trying to bag a couple more as well. But the weather was absolutely atrocious, so we decided just to wing it when we set off. So I didn't do Lord's Rake. So I changed my plan and I thought we'd head straight up to Scafell Pike and then and see what happened when we got there, see what the weather was like, see how my friends felt, and take it from there. So I followed Lingmel Gill, which was fun because at a certain point we had to cross it, and it was in spate, and I had loads of fun trying to get over it. You've probably seen the video. Now, shortly after this, I took a right fork. I went off the main path up Scafell, and I went under Pulpit Rock, and I followed some scree and up through a gully. It wasn't quite Lord's Rake, but it was certainly interesting and certainly a lot of fun. It brings you out near Broadstand and Mickledore. So we skirted the top of Mickledore, then along the ridge, very rocky ridge, all the way up to Scafell Pike. Very, very poor day visibility-wise. We're in rain, fog, cloud. So it was quite a tough day in terms of the weather. Although, given that it's December, there should have been far more snow up there, and it should have been far colder than it actually was. So, having discussed our options, I think we decided probably the best thing in view of what was happening today was to go back down the main track until Lingmel Col, and then I was going to hang, and then we hanged a right, as it were, and went over Lingmel. From Lingmel, we then scrambled down, quite a steep descent. But before we got to this steep descent, we had to kind of work our way across quite an indistinct moortop. No paths as such. It was foggy. It was wet underfoot. And you had to make your way across to what you eventually find, which is like a sheep trod. Eventually becomes quite obvious and still descends down a grassy bank until you get to a very, very steep zigzaggy path going down some scree. And it continues to be steep, following on from this scree down a grassy path all the way back to the bottom where we started. Short day. We're only out for 5 hours, and it was a reasonably leisurely day. There was 3,440 feet of ascent, and it was 6.5 miles.